Jono's gone. He's never getting interviewed again on this show. I hope he's okay. I was only talking to him, but I don't know. Never. Who knows what's after happening? But listen,
Uh, but I'm here. I'm here to
now
save the
you're
day.
here. Now you're here
Talking.
to save
I
the
don't
day.
talk as much as John, but I'll try.
And you don't have as good a beard.
No, that's true. So I'm trying to one when I'm in lockdown.
Do you know what? Actually, it's a good idea that you're here because I was only thinking of you today. And you know why I was thinking of you?
Why?
I wasn't watching any of your movies. I was watching your stories, making the
Yeah.
bed ones. Like, that's kind
Ah,
of
okay.
skilled now. Come on. I
They're
was like,
fucking great.
there. I've seen little themes of like Chef Tyrone there.
Yeah, I'm a killer in the kitchen.
Where did this come from? You left that quiet when you were on the podcast. You left it out.
Um, I know. Well, I have to feed Tyrone. That's why he's so fat. That's why I think he has to lose so much weight. But no, just always been away. Like Philadelphia was on my own, and then Marbella. Everywhere I'm always on my own. So you just have to learn to cook. And then because I have nothing to do during the day, all I do is watch cooking video after cooking video after cooking video. I got good. Got good at cooking.
It's because it's kind of exotic. You're not just putting out like, a chicken salad
Mhm.
or something. There's some
No, I
proper
like
dishes
Asian.
being served
I like
up.
Asian food. Asian's my genre. Asian or Italian. So,
You're a mixed bag of tricks. Like
no,
from
I'm
acting to boxing to chefing.
I'm just a jack of all trades.
Yeah, for sure. So listen, how you getting on? El quarantine.
Very, very boring day. Like I wake up in the morning. I usually get up at like 9 o'clock every day, and I go do whatever during the day. I wake up at 9 now and go, is there even any point of getting out of bed here? I just go to sleep again and I try and kill a few more hours sleeping. So there's less time in the day.
Are you getting to do any training? Are you watching Pete's live classes? Are you
I
joining in?
I've done a few PETS classes. I'm really dedicating myself to train twice a day from tomorrow. But I have done a few of PETS classes that are very good. We've done a few runs, but it's hard to motivate yourself when you don't know what's going on. Like this lockdown, I'm scared it may go on all summer. So I don't know when I'm going to quit and
Yeah,
when.
listen, I read an article last night saying that they're going to try and push this out for like 6 months. I was like, they
I've heard
can't.
October. I go
I
crazy.
am,
It's 2 weeks. It's been fucking so annoying
I
for me.
know. And to be fair, you're kind of like a week behind us, the UK and up north. You like, I don't think the north kind
Mm.
of started this till a little bit later than us down south, did you?
We've been in full lockdown for 2 weeks.
Oh, have you? Okay. Like,
Mm.
I'm waking up, I have to check my phone to find out like what day it is,
I
what
know,
time
I
it
don't know what day it
is.
is anymore. It's mental.
Like,
I said
it's
to my kid
nuts.
earlier, I was like, do you know what day it is? And she's like, yes. And she said some wrong day. And I was like, nah, it's Sunday. Every day just feels like a Sunday now.
Yeah, I'm finding that I have to like um keep a schedule like Monday to Friday and
Mm.
then
Oh,
like
man,
have a Saturday and then have like a Sunday day. Do you know what I mean? Like I have
man,
to I have to try and regulate things.
see, my thing was like, I was like, right, this will only last 3 weeks. And then I can go out and I'll probably put on a bit of weight. I'll probably be on fitter than usual, but I'll get back into training. But now I'm realizing it's going to go on a long time. So I'm really going to start proper dieting tomorrow. I'm going to start training twice a day tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't be fucked when I come out of this. And because
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be fit now until December, so it's hard to motivate yourself.
Was it always going to be December?
No, I was going to be June 26th, June
Oh
27th then.
man.
So that's just it has to be it'll have to be months. It's going to be a nightmare.
So in terms of motivation, like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're in a little bit of a different situation. I assume you can't
Mm.
take a fight from now until December, can you?
No, well, no. Well, I don't know. You could,
Like
nah, you
technically,
probably wouldn't.
can you? Can you be put onto another MTK card, or are they sort of like
Just for,
saving you for the final?
oh, no, I think I was originally obviously just supposed to wait.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think. Will Ohara Davis won a warm-up fight before the final? I mean, a poor runner just to get back into it, or
Well,
because
this is the thing.
it's going to be near a year away.
I know. Well, this is what my question, what I was going to ask you is like, you know, when you're a regular fighter, you kind of there is that element of staying ready because you could potentially be, you
Mm.
know, a fight can come up in a couple of weeks or a short camp or whatever it
Mm.
is. But you're like, you don't know for you're like 100%. I will not um be fighting until December. So
Well, I don't know if it's
how
December.
motivated are you going to be? I suppose.
I'm just speculating it's going to be off far away. It could be September for all I know, but I can just see it going the whole summer, and then getting to August and saying, right, you have to get training camp. So my camp's going to have to be about 16 weeks long.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be a long camp actually, because
And you're going to have
I'm
to drop about 63 kilos.
it's going to be what? I'm scared. I see, and this has been the longest 2 weeks of my life. So if they're talking about at least another 6 weeks, 7 weeks, it's going to be mental. It's,
It is.
I
Yeah.
actually feel sorry. I'm in a lucky position where I just fought in March and I got paid good money. So
Hmm.
I have money there to stretch till my next fight. And I know we've got a fight coming, a big fight coming. There's boxers out there that don't have, that were living
Yeah.
from fight to fight and they have no fights now and they have no savings. They don't pay tax because they don't make enough to pay tax. So they're not
Hmm.
getting anything from government either. Um, so, and then they don't know when their next fight is. That'd be the worst situation. I'm just lucky I've got a decent situation.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that is concerning, and it's not just a few. There's like thousands that are in that
Mm-hmm.
position, you know.
Yes, boxing sport, it's going to be completely different after this lockdown. Like, there's going to be half the boxers there used to be. And there's going to be journeymen retired. There's going to be up and comers retired. There's going to be everything. People changing weight. It's going to be mad.
100%. I'm hoping that in the sort of like aftermath that like shows become super busy because like all I'm seeing is people have been
Mm.
like, oh, I can't believe that, you know, I can't go out and I miss like whether it's the
Oh, yeah.
pub or
But I'm
cinema
worried about,
or
yeah. What I'm
I'm
worried about
hoping
is
that people
after
what?
won't be able to, people. I think people won't be able to afford it. To
Well, yeah,
afford it.
there's that as well. Yeah, that's a massive.
I think I had loads, hundreds of people going there so hard to use it, but now they're going to have to get flight, hotel, and they probably have no money. So it's
So it
fucking mental.
probably is best that it will be around December so that people can
Yeah,
like
they get it on
can
their feet again.
save and stuff.
You know.
But to talk obviously about the last time. Well, the last time I interviewed you for Fight Connect, it was out in the gym with Peace and the lads
Mm.
towards the end of your fight camp. And then I had you on the first exchange with your other Tyrone.
Yep.
So it was, you were, I think it was like, what, a week out when I had you into the studio.
Yeah, something like that.
But I haven't seen you in person since the fight.
I
How
know.
has it been? Like,
It's been good. Do you know what? I'm buzzing. I'm fucking buzzing in the final. Fighting Ohara Davis is something that I've always wanted. I've called for that fight for ages, and just to be in the final, and I'm just buzzing. I'm just very excited.
mhm. Is there an element of entertainment when it comes to the sort of rivalry that you and O'Hara have, or is it somewhat genuine?
It's hard to say. Right at the start, it started out of me just being a nobody calling out Ohara Davis, who was a name at the time. Kept on going at him, and then he heard a few things, and he said, "Oh, he's a bum. He's nobody," which was nobody. But as I grew in the rankings, he got more vocal about me, and then it start a fake right. It may have been a fake rivalry at the start, but as the
Mm.
years go past and the constant things are said, it grows to be a real rivalry. And yeah, it's January. I'm an easy person to wind up as well. Like it doesn't take much to make me angry.
Well, it doesn't take much to make you angry, and you are brazen when it comes to winding up other people.
I know.
So it's kind of like a double-edged sword there. You
No.
give as good as you get. Is that what you would say?
That's just it. Actually, no, do you know what? If I hate someone, it's easy to wind me up. If I'm not, mostly during the day, I'm a happy person, obviously. But
Yeah,
at a
well,
message,
anytime I've met you, you've been nothing but
yeah. Like,
pleasant. So,
they does stuff to me or talking about, I laugh at that. But if it's someone I don't like and
do
they feel like,
do you find that it's easier to go into a fight kind of not liking
yeah,
someone or not like
yeah,
having an
yeah.
element of a part of them that you don't like?
People are different. See, I think this is why Ohara Davis started being humble. OD. He's being nice now, and he's saying, "Oh, Tyrone's a terrific fighter, and Tyrone's class and all this shit." So I think there's two different types of fighter. One that really loves going into a fight with animosity and all this hatred for each other that gets them up,
Mm,
and that's me. I love that kind of shit. I love hating my opponent and wanting to murder them. But I think it's a lot more pressure when that happens. Because see, when you've got a proper rivalry, I've had a few build-ups where we hate each other, like me and Sean Cray,
mm,
me and Jay Connie, a few other ones, and there's a immense amount of pressure walking out to a rival than there is to someone you don't even really know or you don't care.
yeah.
So I think I love that pressure. I love that all that on my shoulders, and I have to go out and I always box brilliant when that happens.
Mm.
But I think O'Hara doesn't like it and doesn't like that pressure. He's had it against Josh Taylor. He's had it against Jack Catterall, and he didn't do well against it. Uh, I think that's why he's trying to make me and him not a rival and not hate
Mm.
each other. 'Cause he doesn't want that pressure.
Well, for the in the immediate lead up to the semi-finals, when you were with Jamie Conlon and the Sky Sports
Mm.
presenters, and they were picking the balls out of who you were going to
Yeah.
fight for the semi-finals. Like I got to kind of be a fan for that like hour that it was on, and it was like, it's like the sweat was rolling at me. It was so awkward. I was like, I don't know how you guys do it. I've worked in this sport for so many years, and I'm still not able for like the face off and the
Yeah.
tension. Like if you've ever been in a room for like a weigh-in where people don't like each other, like
Yeah.
the tension is just so,
Me and
you know.
O'Hara just stand beside each other.
Yeah, just like it was just like the weirdest thing ever, but it made great TV. It was good. It was good. So yeah, that's obviously something to look forward to. Did you? Because I know that obviously, like with MCK and with the shows they put on, there is a quite a large media presence, and you are sort of expected to kind of be on call and to do interviews and to
Mm.
help promote the show as much as possible. But also this fight that you were your last fight, the semi-finals of the Golden Contract.
Mm.
There was a lot on the line for that, like in terms of money, like how it
Mm.
progressed your career. Did you find that having stuff like all the added media attention, was that like an extra pressure, or does it take your mind off things on fight week?
See, I love Fight Week. I love everything about Fight Week. I love the pressers, the weigh-ins, the public workouts. I love it all. So I put a camera in front of me and I love it. So the more cameras, the more relaxed I'd be. I love that week. I love everything about it. Um, I suppose with some boxers it would be a bit daunting and stuff like that. But I mean, as you say, I've acted in movies. I've been in film premieres. I've had a lot of press
Mm.
on me before. So it's something I'm used to, and I enjoy it. I love that kind of atmosphere.
Would you agree that it helps you to take your mind off things, I suppose? Like, do you find when are you ever on your own on fight week, or do you try to
Yeah.
be with people
Well,
as much as possible?
no, well that one there obviously is booked from Bully.
Mm,
So it's always good to have like that's why I loved having him around because you can go through everything together, like going fuck me, I don't want to fight him or what if we get him and about that and all as well and training and stuff like that. So it's good to always have someone there to bounce off.
yeah.
But normally it would be Tyrone McKenna would normally actually come to most of my fights for fight
Mm,
week. So he would get all my. I would do the same for him. He would go to the shops for me and all that and watch the fighters and stuff. You're never really alone in fight week. Well, I'm never
mm.
really alone in fight week. I would hate it. I've probably done it a few times early in my career, but early in my career, you know you're going to win really. So, um, yeah.
Well, then
Actually,
talk
you
to
know what?
me.
I used to actually do. I did. I've done it a few times. I used to go up to my ma's, stay in my ma's house, um, for the week, and I was always on my own. I always just went to my bedroom, but at that makes you overthink stuff. You're just
Yeah.
constantly thinking of who you're fighting and what people are doing and stuff. I
Mm.
think it makes you far more nervous than if you've got a friend with you.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Talk to me then about after fight week. At what point, like I always try to imagine, right? The the last I see of a fighter after the kind of build up of fight week is at the
Mm.
event, whether they've won or if they've lost. And if they've won, I've probably interviewed them. And then I won't see them again until they're
You
in
won't,
camp.
you won't interview a fucking loser. Jesus, that's hard.
I have interviewed a couple of losers. I like the perspective. Some guys are happy to talk if they've lost.
Fuck me, you're ruthless.
I do it in a nice, kind way. It's, you have to show the loss as well. Life is not all about winning, Tyrone.
Yeah. So,
But then I won't see them again until it's like another fight camp or it's another fight night.
yeah.
And I always like wonder like what happens mentally to the fighter after the fight. Like whether you've won of your let's say if you like what you have done, you've just won,
Mm.
you got to go home, be with your family, you're able to have a few pints, you're able to eat what you want. Like, so I imagine the week after is just the best crack
The
ever.
greatest, I swear to God, you only have 1 week of guilt-free stuff. So drinking, eating shit, not training, and you're with your kids and you're just enjoying life. And it's only for 1 week. See, after that
Yeah.
1 week, the guilt comes in. You go, I should be eating this bad and I should be drinking. But you still do it. Like, I'll still have a few guilty weeks of drinking and
Yeah.
eating shit. But yeah, the week after the fight is the greatest week of your life. You've just won. You know you're getting paid that week, so good money's coming in your bank. You're going to spend it on drink, food. Just enjoying life. You're enjoying life. You're loving it. I love it. I love fate. I love fate week, and I love week after fate. They're the two greatest weeks.
So after the week, then after the fight, so after your
Mm.
party week, is there a drop off? Like, do you like what are the emotions that come in? Guilt because you're you're
Mm.
eating shit and you're drinking, but then is there kind of like a sort of an anticlimax or a bit of a drop in your mood because
Oh yeah, yeah,
all that
100%.
excitement for the last few weeks and then it's just completely there's nothing.
Yeah. I don't think it's because of that. There's not. Well, sometimes if you don't have a fight date after, sometimes it'll be a big anticlimax. But mostly because after the guilt-free week, I'll continue drinking and eating shit, and I'll be
Mm.
more depressed. Going, "Fuck me, I shouldn't be doing this." Like, it really eats me up, and I'll be like, "I need to get training." Every day I'll be going, "Right, this is it. No, no drinking, no eating shit." And then I'll hit 5 o'clock. I'll be ordering Chinese and getting the carry. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I wouldn't feel like anything like I'm empty or maybe after loss. After loss, you feel like after about 4 or 5 days of after I got beat by Jack Harrow, that night and the next night and the next day I went out and enjoyed myself. I had all my friends around me. It was great crack. But then comes the Tuesday and you're by yourself, and then it hits you. You've got beaten. You've got a setback in your career and you don't know what you're going to do, and then you feel like a real emptiness, and it's
Oh,
horrible. And you're like, where can I go from here? And you're gonna have to work your way back up and stuff. And it's a terrible feeling. Like,
I feel the emotion of that what you just said there. And added on top of that then for what you're saying about the loss,
Mm.
because people that will watch this, they're either will either be fighters or will be friends of fighters.
Mm.
What is the best advice that you can give to someone in how they should act when their friend or family member has lost a fight? What is the right thing to do? What do you need to hear as a fighter?
See, I'm a kind of guy that likes. I'm inappropriate with stuff, so like Paddy Barnes, I think a day after I got beat or 2 days after I got beat by Jack Carroll, text me saying I had G dickhead. Uh, sent me a picture of me on the ground, something like that. And I cheered me up. Like, I love that kind of shit. People, I hate pity, so people pitying me. I don't think you should pity a fighter or pity.
Mm,
They have a different kind of mentality, and pitying someone makes them feel worse. They're like, "Fuck me, I'm that much of a loser that people are fucking take pity on me." So don't think you should pity anyone. I think you should just be fucking normal to them, just normal, and
yeah.
far from
But
it.
it's a hard kind of one to balance, isn't it? Because you don't know
Mm.
whether you're
But I know for a fact
the
no fighter wants to get pity on them and cheer up, you'll be all right. No, that's not what we want to hear. We want to hear
it's
jokes. Like
only it's only a fight.
I don't know, like,
That's
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 not
the best one to
it.
use. It's only a fight, don't worry about it.
Like then when I text Tyrone, I forget what I text when I sent a picture of him getting dropped and said, "Oh fuck, was slippy in that ring one."
Yeah, I
So
can't actually remember what I text Tyrone. I think I sent. I always do think about it when because I like to, if I've interviewed someone in the lead up to a fight, and they've
mm,
let me have that bit of time with them, and they've lost. I always do like to send a text, and I always do think about what I'm saying, and
mm,
try not to be like a ma about it, like oh, like overly emotional or whatever. But um,
well, Tyrone took it hard. Tyrone was fuck me. He went into his room and then come out for about fucking 5 days. Just slept all the time and wouldn't even text. And people were texting me going, like his brother and stuff, going, "Is Tyrone text you at all?" And I was like, "Nah, nothing." We usually text all day, every day. So that was weird. Um, but he took a bath. But he's it takes a couple of weeks for
mm,
you to come to terms with it because that was his first defeat, obviously, and my first defeat against Jack Harrell. And he's just you think the words end when really fucking
yeah,
happen. It's just that you might get a bit of a slip up, but at least it wasn't someone's shit or journeyman. It was a world
yeah.
class fighter. So you can't
Well,
come
I
back.
think, well, especially in Tyrone's case, that was, I don't think anyone would take that fight away from him. I mean, look who he was fighting. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So,
I mean,
like you
Jack
said,
both had a lot of experience. It's hard and stuff. It was Tyrone's first proper fight at that weight. Like he fought at that weight in the quarterfinals, but it was against someone well below his level. So this is
mm,
his first time stepping in the ring with world class featherweight. So he'll only learn from it.
absolutely.
He
So, what do you
learned that
do?
he doesn't shouldn't put his chin up in there. Fucking idiot.
You're an awful friend, you are. You know
Mhm.
that.
Well, he
Eh,
definitely remember he was living with me and then he went home. He's a cunt.
yeah, that's because when I text you about doing this
Yeah.
weeks ago, I was like, I'll get the two of you sit next to each other, and then you were like,
Mm-hmm.
he's hours away from me. I thought he was with you.
There he was, and then he just split home, and then it's got more serious. So he's
Yeah.
no like that. But
Do
no,
you
see if
miss
it's
him?
going for 8 weeks, he may fucking move back in because this is fucking brutal.
But at least if he was there, you could like hold pads for each other and like train
Mm.
and
No, see
you
the thing
know.
is that's why I went home because me and him together aren't great news at the best of days. So he's like, look, this isn't working. I'm gonna have to go home. We're drinking fucking every day. We're eating shit. We're doing no training. It was a recipe for disaster. So it was best he went home.
So what's the contrast that like then when you're living together when it's fight camp? Like for example, when you were down in Dublin when you joined Pete Taylor's gym. So you
Yeah.
obviously were living together and were you sharing a room and everything?
Some weeks it just depends what apartment we got, but most of the time we had our own bedroom. But some weeks we had to share a bit.
So was it kind of a thing of, right, when you both know that you need to be eating clean and on the straight and narrow, you can keep each
Yeah.
other on the straight and narrow, and then when it's the
Yeah.
opposite, it's like all hell breaks
Well,
loose.
it's so the first week we'll go down to camp. We'll be about 11 weeks out, 10 weeks out, and the eating clean won't be great that week. It'll be just getting into eating clean. So will not be it's a long process to get where you are. So the first week we're training like fuck, and we're going home. We're eating clean, but we're eating a lot. And then next week I'll be brought right down, and even and then about 8 weeks out we'll be really strict and eating and
Mm.
no obviously no and just training like fuck. It takes that's what I need here. It takes about a week of doing like a routine of getting up at 9, training twice, and eating clean. After about a week of it, you just get used to it, and it's easy to do.
Mm.
But the first week, you're just craving bad food and drink, and you're lazy and don't want to train and stuff. But once you're in the routine, it's easy work.
Absolutely. So you're looking forward to getting back then when you're, because obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, just before the Corona War,
Mm,
you obviously yourself and Tyrone McKenna had joined Pete Taylor's gym in Dublin. You were moving
mm,
down. It was a whole new start for you. So it's still relatively new. So now once this is over and you go back, like it's an exciting
mm,
time. I had Pete on the other night, and we were talking about there's a little buzz now about the gym because of like the stable that he's after putting together. There's a lot of new
mm.
guys. There's a lot of guys that are more experienced. So it just seems like a really good time to be a part of his stable.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great team. It's a
Mm.
big team. It's massive. A lot of people when I joined said, "Ah, he's too big a stable. He can't just coach how much people." And I was kind of worried. I was like, maybe he can. Maybe there is too much people. It was like
Yeah.
14 or 16 people. I don't know. And I went down, but the man's so dedicated. Like he spends his
Mm.
weekend. Like I seen the other day, he's translating the full book, Russian book.
The Russian book.
He's nuts. Like
Karen was
that's what
telling me.
the man genuinely breathes boxing. He loves it.
Mm.
So he spends his weekend organizing our sessions to a T that he can work around it, and you probably get more one-to-one time and taught things than you usually you would with a
Mm.
small team. So he works it well, and he's an unbelievable coach.
Because
I
that's
love
a
it.
that's a very important element, I think, for any gym, and that is a concern that a lot of fighters have, is that when you go to a more well-known gym, like
Mm,
who gets the time? Because in a regular gym you might have like one or two pro guys, one or two
mm,
champions, and they get padded first, and they're kind of
yeah.
like get the main focus of attention, and then it filters down, and just like a regular boxing gym or Muay Thai gym or whatever it is. So I think for someone like P having so many high
Mm,
level athletes that need his time, how he's
yeah.
managed to kind of delve everything out is kind of testament to how good a coach he is.
But it is, I mean, the way he works it, it's you do learn so much, and you get so much time. Like
Yeah.
even the tech sparring, the technical sparring, and I mean, you're sparring near enough every day, but you're learning so much as well. And and then when does get to your closer to your fight date, he does do an extra bit with you yourself,
Mm.
just you on the lead up, and then after he goes home, he watches all the fighters. He like he dedicated one's just so dedicated that he makes it work.
Sure does.
He
Well, it's
does.
working so far. He does. He does. He
And
does.
he's Boy, will
um,
be too happy with me in my last fight. He whole week leading up, drilling into me. You're boxing, you're boxing, you're boxing. You're 6'1", just boxing. Yep, 100% boxing. And then first round, he came back and he's like, "That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. Just boxing, got jab, sway, jab, move." I was like, "Yeah, this is working out." And halfway through the second, that's fine. I can't keep this cunt off me. Fuck this. And I just put the hands up and said, "I'm going for a war."
Well, you always say, I can't help but get into a war. It's kind of just synonymous
I went
now with
back.
your
I went
fight
back.
style.
I went back after the second round. He was like, "What the fuck was that second half about?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." I don't know. And he's like, "Back to
Is that,
boxing."
was that, because that's obviously your first time with him in your corner.
Yeah,
So
I was.
like, is it weird? Is like, are you in the fight? Like, is adrenaline too high to actually process like this is a new moment, or like hearing a new coach or someone new in your corner giving you a guideline? Like, do you kind of have to keep focused, or
Nah,
what's the thinking?
I think because you've had 10 weeks of him already or 12 weeks of him, whatever it was, and he's in your corner for sparring and all that. You're pretty
Yeah.
used to it. It's just a normal thing at that stage. So yeah, it's not like he just turned up at the end. He's in the corner. So I've got a ball move now.
He just rolls in. All right,
I
Tyrone.
think you have to have
Hello,
a good
peace.
ball, a good ball with your coach. You
Yeah.
have to trust him. You have to really trust the person. So I mean, we have a good bond, and I trust him. So yeah.
Good stuff. So, what apart from chefing and a little bit of training, what else are you spending your days in quarantine?
What am I doing?
You watching that and good?
Nah, oh, Monster Chef. But Monster Chef, Walking Dead. What's that Tiger King? That's eight. That
What do you
guy.
think?
I hate. Why is Carl? Was her name Carl? Isn't it
Carl Baskins.
Carl? What? Why is she saying her is a rescue when it's the same fucking thing?
No, everyone is missing the point. Her argument was that you shouldn't be allowed to raise endangered species in captivity, which is what Joe was doing. She was rescuing already mistreated animals that can't be released back into the wild.
They're both
Listen,
fucking crazy.
I'm a big fan of Carol. Okay,
Are you?
That's a
I
woman who
hate
knows
her.
what she wants and
I
she knows
hate her.
how to get it.
You know what? I'm very.
Ah,
I hate her. I like Joe. Joe is taking
Joe is.
straight man and he's getting married to him. That's fucking nuts.
Do you want to know a little fact? Joe was actually on a documentary with
Leave the road.
Louis Theroux, and he's an ex-cop. He used to be a policeman.
Did he? Nah, I
Yeah,
hate him.
that was his job. Yeah. But
Nah,
like,
that's him.
what?
I don't like him.
To be honest, like, there's no winners in that documentary. They're
Nah,
all mental. Like,
I really hate that Jeff guy. Jeff's a dick as well.
oh, like they were all just like, and then the other guy, the weird guy with all the women, like, oh,
Nah, he was a weirdo. What was his
so
crackling?
gross. Like,
And then,
and do you know what? If you can be him and you can that can be your lifestyle, then go for it. It's the women that I was like, what's going on in their minds? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he's got a pet tiger. That's.
it's crazy, but I feel for Joe. Joe shouldn't be locked up. Free Joe Exotic. That's what we want to know.
Do you,
Why is he in captivity? Why is he in captivity
I think he was set up, but he is
now?
somewhat guilty though. I mean, he did try and get that woman murdered.
But did he? I think it was all Jeff.
I don't know. Maybe I need to watch, but I need to like analyze the final episode again. He's
See, to be
okay.
honest, I'm
Maybe
drunk here now, so I could be
he
full of
shouldn't
shit.
be in jail for that long. Like he's after getting a heavy jail
Yeah.
sentence, but he's definitely not guilt free. I mean, they're
Did
both
he
all
not?
as bad as each other in this.
No, no.
There's
It's
no
mental.
winners.
But other than that, watching TV, I'm just constantly playing card games, it seems, with my kids. My kids love card games.
What's the card games you're playing with them?
So I feel like an idiot. So, did you ever play I don't know what they call it, Go Fish, but I don't think it is Go Fish. Where
Goldfish.
you lay all the cards out and you have to turn one around and get the matching one, like 8 and 8. Like you turn them all face down, all 52 cards, and you turn one around, it's an 8. then you have to pick one that's an eight, and when you
Is
get
it
it, you get
like Snap or something?
like
Is that how you play Snap?
pairs, define pairs of each card, but they're all
Powers.
layered. Pair, pair.
Power. What? What did you say? Power. What?
Stop saying par. Stop saying par.
What?
Purrs, purrs. Pair, purr,
Pairs.
purrs.
Fuck me.
So
Fuck
you define
me.
it's a memory game. You lay out all 52 cards face down, and then you turn one card round and try and find the matching card. And if you don't, you have to turn them back around. So, and
Right.
my kids are 6 and 7, and they know as soon as like they know where all the cards are. It's mental. They're fucking geniuses. As soon as
Who
one card,
who showed them? Is it your girlfriend or your fiance? Is she into cards? Where did they learn it if you're not into it?
I don't know, just in the crash or something, maybe. I don't know.
Brilliant.
But they're
Ah.
geniuses. And then TikTok, heavy into TikTok these past few nights.
I saw your TikTok.
Last night,
I have
maybe.
I have not yet
Breached
entered
that.
the world of TikTok.
I, I didn't want to, but I'm forced. The pandemic's forced my hand. I have to be a TikTok now.
Well, at least
Um,
the dancing is added cardio, right?
I think doing now, or sorry, Rosa, but what me and Trone's doing now is we're sitting down thinking we need to invest in a business because boxing's never going to happen again because we're going to be on lockdown for these things. So
Well,
we're going under $1 million ideas if you can remember.
I can remember the $1 million ideas,
So
yeah.
we're going to try and start up a few of them businesses.
Also, I saw the Tyrone Olympics went ahead, but who
It did.
won?
It
There
did.
was no winner was announced. We saw
Yeah,
all the.
no. We haven't done them all. We've only done two of the
Okay, so
six.
the burger one and the slushy one.
Yeah. No, well, the burger one, the slice one, yeah. Show what happened, right? So it was a couple of days after our fight. I don't know when it was, but it was a couple of days after our fight anyway. And I said, Trum, we have to do this with Ali at 10 in the morning. You may come down from Derry. And he said, I can't, I'm not coming down tonight because yeah, I'll come to your house and we'll end up drinking. And then I'll be stuck for the Tyrone Olympics. And I said, nah, we'll be all right, we'll be all right. So he came down that night for the early start tomorrow. And we ended up drinking and we got absolutely rode off. Can't remember. And next day, woke up absolutely hungover the fuck and bought 30 burgers, thinking, we'll get through these burgers easy, but we had a hangover. So I think we got to about 6 or 7 burgers, and I started being sick. Um, so I lost that one. He won that one, and then the slushy one, I knocked them back. I fucking fed them into me. I won that, and he had to forfeit. He had to knock six, and he's hungover. Remember, and he's sober. He had to knock 6 shots of vodka, and you want to see how much he was sick. It was fucking disgusting. It was funny as fuck. Everywhere, I mean, everywhere. It's comedy gold. Him and Sticks is laughing at him. It's fucking brilliant.
Well, I hope. Did you film it? Did you have someone there with a camera?
But we haven't released it because the guy who filmed it, he hasn't been able to edit it at the minute. He's working on a lot of other things. So, and then we can't do the other challenges because we're on lockdown. So,
Corona.
pointless.
Well, at
Corona.
least it's something to look forward to.
It is. It is.
There,
Um,
yeah.
we also, I was down in Dublin, and I forgot what bar you said had the best Guinness. It was a few weeks ago.
Would you text me? I would have told you.
I know.
The Gravediggers, John Cavanagh's.
That's what it was. Grave diggers. Everyone was mad. What was the suggestion? I put it up on Instagram saying suggestions for best Guinness, and they were saying Flannery's. Is that place? Flanagan's.
There's a Slattery's. There's there is
The
there's
Tommy
there's a Flannery's, and there's Yeah, there is a
It's
Flannery's.
in Camden Street,
Yeah,
Divots.
that yeah, it's that's Flannery's. It's across the road from the
Yeah,
Camden Deluxe.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
they were saying Divots or Davids, is it?
Davids, yeah, that's across the
I
road from us.
had a Guinness there, and it was nice. Um,
Oh, see, that's kind of like Camden Street is like the busy end. Like that's sort of like where Whelan's is. So there's like music venues
mm,
and that kind of stuff. For me now, if you're going to ask, like the Gravediggers John Kavanagh
yeah,
is
but
it's
you're
kind of like that's
out
a
of the
day
way.
out. It's a bit
Yeah.
out. It's a bit out. It's on the north side. It's a bit out of the
Yeah.
way. It's kind of like a day out. But if you wanted to go for a nice pint of Guinness, as in like into like
Mm.
an old man's pub, you need to
And
go
it
into
has
the
to be good, man.
suburbs. You know.
It has to be something like that, but I wasn't going to branch out into the suburbs for fucking Guinness. Well, I was an American. Went to
well,
P-Max.
this
Did you go to P-Max? Is it P-Max?
yeah, that is like I used to go there every weekend
I love it.
before Fight Connect when I used to be
Yeah.
out and I had a social life and I used to drink. Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it. It's
really
great.
good. And they do food there as well and it's really, really
Yeah.
nice.
And
Yeah,
also,
yeah, yeah.
you have crisps for free. Just walking around with crisps.
Crisps for free and there's like lollipops and drumsticks. You know
No,
those drumstick
mhm.
lollipops?
I was
Did you
loving it.
did you see that there's like little boots? You can like there's little wooden boots like all along as you go in on the left hand
Go
side.
for
So
the
there's
game.
like there's a table and chairs in there, but you can have your own private little booth.
Really?
Yeah, and
Uh,
there's a little lamp on the table. It's really cool.
I like it. I like Dublin. Dublin's a good spot.
Yeah, it
Love
is. When you get to go
it.
back now, you'll fit in. You'll be right at home.
I love that. I love
You'll be
food and
right at home with all the superstars and the actors, and you know.
yeah, yeah. I know. That's what
Do you
women comfort
recognize
food.
me from such movies as?
Fuck off.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Have you even
All
watched
good.
Medical yet?
Do you know what? I did watch the Mighty Celts.
Have you?
I did. Now I didn't watch it all. I watched about like 40
Whoa,
minutes.
whoa, what? What is that about?
I put it on and I was really enjoying it. And do you know what, Tyrone? I'm not
I
just saying
not
this.
enjoying it that much. Fucking 40 minutes.
No, I had to gawk. Listen, do you think I have time to be sitting around watching movies? I'll watch it, the rest of it. I'll finish it tonight, right? But I was watching it. I swear to God, I'm not shitting you. I remember recognizing you when you were in that movie. Like I was probably only the same age as you. Well, a
Yeah,
little bit older. What are you now? 29,
nah, 30.
30. So I was like 5 years older than you. But I can remember you because I was like, this is so familiar. Did I see this movie before? And then it's when you come on the screen, I was like, oh, I've definitely seen Tyrone before. Like that's crazy. But it's really good. You were a really good actor. Like it's really good.
I'm a talented man. I am a talented man, it seems. But I I fucked up that whole acting shit, so I've only myself to blame.
Well, you can always go back to it.
I know that's what it said. Also, it said right. I was making a choice when I was like 20. I'd left boxing as well as acting, just living the party life. And I sat down and was like, right, go to boxing or go into acting, one or the other. And I decided boxing, there's only a short window. Fuck it, I'll go for boxing. And then
Mm.
once that's finished, I'll go back into acting.
Well, it was a good choice because if you'd chosen acting and then wanted to go into boxing, you probably it's a bit dodgy. Like,
Yeah.
what's your man's name? The really
John Dunn.
famous actor?
Oh,
No, the
season.
Mickey Rourke.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like Mickey Rourke was like, it was like, oh, I can't believe he's going to fight, and it was just really weird. The crossover from like actor to boxer
yeah.
is
I don't
kind of
think
tacky, but boxer to
yeah,
actor is very chic. That's very Vogue.
yeah, brilliant. But see, that's what I was. I think you can only be 100% in something like that. Some people say,
Yes.
"Why don't you do both, acting and boxing?"
Mm.
That's you have to focus on one thing, and I thought, right, fuck it, I'll focus on 100% in boxing, and then go into acting 100% because you can't be 50% in boxing or you're fucked.
I'm telling you, no way,
You know.
no way.
I heard
It
it
was
seems
a
like
good choice.
it's working out well.
It's working out well. Listen,
If I was an actor, I'd probably be fucking on the dole.
if you're on Coronation Street,
I wouldn't be too.
it's not a bad little gig. Listen, it's
I
a
tell you what,
regular
I tell
wage
you
and
what
a
I'm watching. Oh fuck, did
what?
that?
Oh, Tyrone's phone is dying. Let me see who else is here. When he's coming back. Oh, there's questions. Stig. I'm gonna get him to ask these questions. I actually didn't know this was a thing. Um Let me have a look. Um okay, Tyrone is gone, so his phone is definitely after going. But I hope you enjoyed that chat and